And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here we go. Waiting. 52. You can't block me. You can't block me. Great. He's coming. We got double up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Push him back. Shoot. Switch.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Rush in.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to look deep for more. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. This is taken at the 23.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Let's go now.
On first down, Ramirez. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
Let's go. Take this pen. Come on. Hey, eat. Come on. A little flare.
To throw is Ramirez. On first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 38-yard line.
Back through, back man. 180! Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
49, check 49, check 49.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
At their own 16-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you?
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 84 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So much talk this week on the other side about slowing him down coming off that great performance, NFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. But long touchdown run there, nobody was stopping him.
Yeah, good luck for that because that was an explosive run. You know, in the NFL, they describe that as any run over 10 yards. Some teams say 15. He went over 20-plus on that one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Mike 52. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
Go. Let's find 7. Take 4. Switch.
Now Wentz. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wentz. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Darren Lee there to get him down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back to throw. Ramirez. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And again this time to the tailback. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, Kyle Shanahan will send out the field goal unit. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wentz trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Ramirez operating from the gun. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. Touchdown, Falcons. John Ross, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 18-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded at about the 28. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. 2nd and 10. This is the tight end fan. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Here's Ramirez to throw on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
On second and very short, Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check me. Empty. Empty.
Now Wentz. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wentz. And he's got the hook up to Moore. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I smell fear in that offense.
Kill it, motion me out. 52 is the mic right here, over there, right? 52.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
It's second down and 10.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, what's the ball?
Mike 52, Mike 52.
This one, 7. We go.
Again, it's Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 21. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
That return gets all the way to midfield, so we know the field position is absolutely flipped at this point. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I might think about blitzing right now to try and take field position back.
They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Falcons. A great effort there. 50 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Throwing now is Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this second and 9.
At the 31-yard line.
Now a handoff looking right. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
Here we go. Waiting.
No chance.
Hey, 74.
Where's 52? Watch 52.
On third and long, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. They'll look to set up his blockers. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Ramirez. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 19 yards away, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now this one is running back out of the backfield and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
You're trapped.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 46-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All day.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield.
Almost 2 yards.
Two jet. 52.
Now this time Wentz will throw. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Hey, Rip 5-2, come here. 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. Watch the pass.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go. 180. Man left. 3 down. Hey, 4 Tokyo. 52.
On first down, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Mike 52.
Another try after the first down sack. Wentz going to throw right side here, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Back to throw. Ramirez. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Mike 57.
Ramirez now. Off play action. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
The Vikings take over.
Let's go, man.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
3rd and 10.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And oh, they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Now Ramirez. Back to the air on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Looking to throw. Ramirez. Throw left side complete. It's Lamb. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
And 8 yards to go.
Come on, let's go.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to let it fly. Man, complete, and all the way down to the 35. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 45 yards. Wentz now on first down. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. And I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Left side here, that's the tight end fan. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win.
And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
To throw, it's Wentz. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14.
Mike 52, Mike 52. And we have you on the edge.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Atlanta, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall back to 500 at